My head rumbles as I drive down the dirt road. There was never a darker night in the Swiss mountainside, never a finer night. Whitney looks on ahead for any signs of civilization, any signs of life in the ebony night to which we might find our accommodators. Destination? The Scarwood Sanatorium. I'll be diagnosing patients. Operating? I'll save for the other doctors. Any idea of how this day will be, Whitney? I ask. He only looks on ahead. You know this place has its reputation for a reason, he says. There's a reason why they require the top doctors to work there. Scarwood seems a bit overdramatic, don't you think? After all, they can't use lethal force on someone. We're there to help. The drive continues down the path most taken into a narrow valley. I open my eyes a little wider because, in the distance, a grand structure surrounded by what can only be described as the gates of heaven begins to appear. The bell tower strikes 12, and through the barred windows, I catch a glimpse of several nurses hurrying to get a patient under control. Nothing's leaving this place anytime soon. We pull to a stop, and as I exit, I notice the sweet scent in the night air and the familiar smell of morphine emanating from the truck. Several more nurses come to greet us, and we're quickly shuffled into the facility. Morning, doctor, I say as I nod to the woman approaching in the suit. Please, call me Ivans. Always nice to see a new face, she says with a smile, her canine standing out exceptionally against her red gums. It's not often we see your kind of optimism here. Nurse, please show Mr. Rainsford to his quarters for some rest. You must be tired after your travels. Doctor, correct her. Sorry, wasn't aware. We do try our best to keep up with a new guest here, but as you can see by our location, that's not always possible. I follow the nurse down several corridors, the vibrations from the furniture below weakening my knees. Left, straight, right, straight, and he opens my door on the right. 0619. Nice enough. There's an empty desk, a bed with a metal frame, and a soft enough mattress, a bookshelf filled with who knows what, and a small camera in the corner above the door. Seems like they take security seriously here. The door clicks, I unpack my things, cozy up to the rumbling radiator, and read myself in the morning. A warm face greets me, checking to see that I've settled well into my quarters. Hardly, I think to myself. These books never have any closed with them. He pokes his head into the room to see all my belongings in order and leads me out. I'm shown around the facility. Washrooms down the hall, nurses and security units stationed throughout the building, especially at the exits. Another face greets me. Dr. Ivans, right this way, he says, opening an office door. Ah, Rainsford, good to see you again. Please, have a seat. I greet her with a smile and help myself to some tea. The warm touch soothes my shaking hands from the cold night, and the fruity fragrance reminds me of the rainforest. Chamomile, she says, eases you back in the world, especially in a place like this. Yes, quite the easier reply. Now, you look recuperated enough from your travels for me to assign you an escort around this building. Their job is to help you in any way they can. Got it? This is Dr. Zverev. He'll be your attendee for your stay. Clacking footsteps behind me echo. The opening of a folder and the rustle of papers fills the room, but I know his eyes never leave me. As he paces around me, I see he's in uniform. Well-fitted suit, keys, and of course that folder. As our eyes meet, the deep wrinkles in his face resemble permanent scowl and radiate years of experience. A face I recognize all too much. Rainsford, I presume? Doctor, and yes, that's me. My order hand is met with cold air. I'll leave you to it, Ivans interrupts. If you'll please excuse yourselves. We exit the room and walk down the halls. A faint draft of the chamomile trails behind. I've been expecting you for some time. You've got quite the reputation. I try my best, I reply. I'm escorted to the debriefing room. The guards look prepared. Military-grade tasers, batons for self-defense, and several pairs of cuffs and things get out of hand. As we enter, there's a large glass panel on one side. 2 chairs and a metal table are the only things in this room, with standard security precautions any room in this building should have. We take our seats, and he stares at me, watching. His eyes piercing through my skin like daggers. It's funny how the past patients remind you of the people you meet in everyday life. One patient of mine suffered an aneurysm. Couldn't express emotions by the time I was done with them. Lively fellow they were. Had another good 50 years ahead of them if it wasn't for the incident. Now, it's like talking to a brick wall. If it wasn't for the life support system or hospital bed in the way. Rainsford, I do believe it's time for you to retire, he states. But I've only just arrived. As far as I'm concerned, I have a clean slate. No faulty diagnoses, no missed operation record, and certainly no sleep with all the shaking that goes around this building. That's just it. You're no doctor, yet you came here willingly. What do you suppose that means? I'm here to help relieve you of some of your duties. Add a helping hand to ensure the well-being of everyone in the compounds. And what do you mean I'm no doctor? Rainsford, I haven't the slightest idea of how you came to that conclusion. Do you think a doctor requires surveillance in the room? Are those not just security protocols? Do you think a doctor needs nurse and security escorts to follow them around the compound? I'm new to this facility. I would imagine that if an unrestrained patient were to escape their chambers and anything were to happen to me, the consequences would be severe. That's not exactly the case, you see. You're my patient, and I look forward to working with you. Are you so sure about that? Anyone that comes here is insane in their own right, just some more than others. I've put up no resistance in following orders, and I've been happy to bear with the horrible breeding selection. The food here tastes like an emery, and for God's sakes, will someone stop that rumbling? What rumbling? Anyway, I'm here out of research. I've been needing to find some information on the learning abilities of the unstable, and I need to repay a debt. I'm to study you, and if you'd rather face the guards outside this door, that's your decision. But I can assure you, they're on my side. This place is insane. No wonder no one ever gets out of here. I need to get out. I need to escape. I need to escape their gaze. Just for a second. I need that. Well, They say you learn more about yourself through the patient than you do by the patient. If this place has the fame and honor as I hear, and I am your patient, then let's make this game, shall we? What are you proposing? The mind is a puzzle with all those mixed up pieces in that box of yours. How all those pieces fit together in that grand picture you have of yourself. And I'm your puzzle, so solve me. He shuffled closer to the table and noted it was good to have my cooperation. He doesn't know. We went through a series of questions. Where was I from? What was I doing before all this started? Who were my associates? The journal assessment. What did I say? I told him I was from some obscure European country. That was an investment banking firm. None of these matched up, of course. I needed to test him. He took some quick notes and asked if I understood the purpose of all this. I said if I knew, would I really be here? The door clicked open like the hammering of a 44. Looks like I'm done for the day. I'm once again escorted back to my room. The bookshelf seems to have been empty, but at this point, I'd kill to keep my mind occupied with something other than counting the hours I'm awake, because when the night covers the sky, I'll be doing the same. And every so often, I'll look up from my book into the camera with a smile, because I know he's watching. The nights slip by like the pages of these books, and the writing's just so formulaic. Sleep? What a joke. Sleep is for the weak. No matter how much I toss and turn, I can't escape their gaze. The days aren't much better. Fake smiles greet me. I'm given tasteless gruel to eat. But the appointments are the only hours that really matter. Zero runs me through various tasks. He'll simply ask me to draw some scenery. It's demeaning. The amount of trees I've drawn in the past days could fuel a forest fire. Burn. Once he had me hold my hands behind my back after a course. He said he wanted to examine my torso. A trivial task. I just couldn't though. My arms were shaking, my palms bathed in sweat, my whole body about to collapse. They drugged me, worried that I would break out, so sedation was the only option. That's it. That's okay. I'm a fighter. Always have been. You'll see. I'll show them. Day 19? It's hard to tell at this point. I'm down to the last book. Looking in the mirror, I see the face of a dead man. Face no longer recognizable. Face beyond repair. I have to escape. Just one more sleepless night. I can almost see the bright sun. So bright and fiery in the sky. Can't wait to start the day. When I see his face, the voice inside me screams, "Today the game ends." "Good morning, Rainsford," he says. "Glad to see you up early." "I'm always up," I reply. Why is there so much pressure in my chest? There's nothing holding me down. Just me and him in the room. His keys are hanging from his belt, that same folder in front of him, and that ever so sharp suit. His eyes are tiring. I can tell he's almost done with me. I can't let him have that satisfaction. "It's awfully early to schedule an appointment, doctor." "Yes, well, I figured we'd see how your mind does in the morning trials. And this is a classic test of the mind. I'll hold up some silhouettes, and would you tell me what you see?" "I'll do nothing of the sort." "I beg your pardon," he replies. I stand up firmly and repeat myself. He slowly gets up and paces around. "May I remind you of your options, Mr. Rainsford," he states. "I will do nothing of the sort. You bring me here every day and bombard me with menial tasks. Your research is a pile of lies. The prison experience is no more than fiction to you. The endless hours wasting away in this complex, the restless nights, you're no more than a doctor than I am." My words miss. He simply stares through me and pushes the mic on his suit. "Guards, please come in," are the only words he says. I can hear the footsteps approaching. I need to get... He paces around me. My moment comes. I lash out with a quick elbow to his face and rip the keys off him. The guards are almost here. He's up now. He motions for me to drop the keys. Why would I do that? They're my only way out. The door clicks. I grip the longest key as hard as I can and race it in the air. My arm's no longer in control. My salvation is here. I slowly drag it across my windpipe. Sleep had never been so peaceful.